It was supposed to be a relaxing camping trip for Jake and his friends. They had planned to spend a week in the remote wilderness of British Columbia, enjoying the scenery, fishing, and hiking. They had no idea that they were about to enter the territory of a creature that would haunt their nightmares. The first sign of trouble came on the second night, when they heard a loud howl in the distance. It sounded like a mix of a wolf and a bear, but much deeper and more menacing. They shrugged it off as a normal animal sound and went back to sleep. The next morning, they found their campsite ransacked. Their food was gone. Their tents were torn, and their gear was scattered. They also noticed large footprints around the site, measuring about 18 inches long and 8 inches wide. They were puzzled and scared, but they decided to stay and hope for the best. The next night, they heard the howl again, but this time it was closer. They also heard heavy footsteps and branches snapping around their camp. They grabbed their flashlights and guns and tried to see what was out there. They saw a dark shape moving in the shadows, but they couldn't make out any details. They fired a few shots in the air, hoping to scare it away. It seemed to work as the noise stopped and the sheep retreated. They breathed a sigh of relief, but they knew they had to leave as soon as possible. The next morning, they packed their things and headed for their truck, which was parked a few miles away. They hoped to reach it before dark and drive away from this nightmare. They walked as fast as they could, but they soon realized that they were not alone. They heard the howl again, followed by a roar that chilled their blood. They turned around and saw it. It was a huge, hairy creature, standing on two legs, with long arms and a massive chest. It had a human-like face, but with a flat nose, a wide mouth, and dark eyes. It was Bigfoot, and it was angry. It charged at them, swinging its arms and roaring. Jake and his friends fired their guns, but the bullets seemed to have no effect. The creature grabbed one of them and threw him against a tree. Breaking his neck, the others ran for their lives, but they were no match for its speed and strength. It caught up with them and tore them apart one by one. Jake was the last one alive, and he knew he had no chance. He dropped his gun and fell to his knees. He closed his eyes and waited for the end. The creature stood over him and looked at him with curiosity. It tilted its head and sniffed him. It seemed to sense his fear and his resignation. It reached out its hand and touched his face. Jake felt a surge of pain as its claws dug into his flesh. He screamed, and then everything went black.